about a song that always takes you back?
A song that always takes me back. I would say that when I really started seriously listening to rock on the radio was around 1979 when I was 14. Previous to that, I certainly had listened to AM radio, top 10 radio, but I seriously started listening to a syndicated program on FM radio about rock songs that were coming out and the history behind them. And I started reading my brother's Rolling Stone magazines and actually looking into the culture. And this was just when popular music was kind of edging out from under disco and edging a little bit closer to mid 70s rock, the kind of country tinged rock that had become popular in the wake of the 60s. And listening to a song from 1979, such as Tusk by Fleetwood Mac, or one of the Led Zeppelin songs that came out from that time, like Fool on the Corner, that really takes me back to 1979 and being 14, which was kind of the first year of being a teenager in my life. And all the anxieties and all the hopes that came with being that age and finding out who I really was. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Daniel. All right. You can't see the categories, but I can see them. So let me call on someone else. And today,
may I just quickly interrupt you for the instant evaluation?
Oh, you're going to do it instant, please. Sorry.
It is instant. Yes, I mean it's
Go
not
instant,
tomorrow.
instant. Go instant.
Let's
Yeah.
transition it directly into instant evaluation. April, give us some feedback on Daniel's speech, please.
Okay, rock and rollers. Let's go back to 1979. I was around, and I liked a bit of Led Zeppelin, not too much. I don't know what I would say anything differently than what you said, except for we probably didn't share the same favorite tunes. I liked how you broke in your own sentiments about how you were at that age at 14 and what was going down. I just really appreciate getting to know how we all are running our lives, and thank you for the disclosure there. And you tightened it up from the front and the back really well. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, April. Back to you, Victoria.
Thank you very much, Vincent. All right, Zan, how good to see you. Can you see me? Can I hear you?
Yep, I can see you and hear you.
Wonderful. Let me give you the categories and tell me how much you'd like between 1 and 500. We have careers, trips, colors, memories, songs, and potpourri. What would you like?
Let's do memories for, I don't know, do we have a 300?
Yes, we do.
Let's do it.
One moment, please. Memories for 300 is, here's a quote for you. Memories are like stones. Time and distance erode them like acid, by Ugo Betti. What do you hope never to forget, Zan?
What do I hope never to forget? I will say that my memory is not the strongest, and pictures are so important to me because my memory isn't that of an elephant, it's that of a mouse. And my best friends in Indianapolis give me the world's best hugs every time I see them. They're my family of choice. They're the blood that runs through my veins. And each time that we're together, one of my best friends, Bonnie, takes a selfie of us and then gets it printed out and puts it in a magnetic frame that I put up on the refrigerator. And I hope that I never forget how it feels to hug my best friends, even though I live in Los Angeles and they live in Indianapolis, and I only get to see them a few times a year. Their hugs and love and the memory of it sustains me through the time that I can't see them. But the good news is that I'm going to be spending Labor Day with them, with all my best friends, at a lake in Indianapolis, hoping to take tons more pictures that I hope to, at the end of my life, never forget, because I'll have them there on a fridge.
Thank you so much, Zan. Vincent, over to you.
Pat, why don't you give us an evaluation of Zan's speech, please?
I loved it. Thank you, Zan, because as somebody who constantly goes to things with cameras in their hand and captures the memory in photographs, because I call them the repository of memory, because then you can't forget. And they bring these things alive. And somebody who's made 35 books of these memories, you brought to me in what I heard, the real importance of never forgetting, because time and does erode your memory and changes it to what you would like it to be. So the quote I thought was fantastic. I don't think it really went towards the quote, but you did capture the essence of capturing the memory in photographs. And it spoke to me, and it spoke to me loudly in the way I approached that. Thank you for it. And I really relate to the warmth that you feel when you look at photographs of your loved ones, your family, your friends, and you share those smiles with them. And they are precious, precious, precious gifts. Thank you, Zan.
Thank you, Pat. Victoria, tell us yours.
Thank you. Shantae, did you ask Vincent how long he'd like those instant evaluations to last?
It should be something like 30 to 40 seconds, really.
Okay,
It should be
thank you.
very brief.
Great, thank you. We have a guest today, Zilu. I cannot see you right now, Zilu, but can you hear us? I think you're still on mute.
Oh, sorry, I'm on mute. Yeah.
Welcome,
thank you.
Zilu. So good to see you. So our categories are careers, trips, colors, memories, songs, and potpourri. What would you like for how much? 1 to 500.
I'll do trips for 500.
Oh boy, I love that. Okay, just a minute here. Trips for 500. Describe car trips when you were a kid.
Wow. Car trip when I was a kid. Well, as I grew up, we didn't have a car when I was a little, and a lot of the times we usually share cars with others or took a bus or a shuttle. So all the memory about my car trip when I was on a car was a bit unpleasant. I always remember I got a car sick. I always get a car sick. I'm still get a car sick, but when I'm driving now by myself, I don't get that much car sick. So when I was little, I remember this once we were going to a mountain as a family trip with a couple family friends, because when you drive on top of the mountain, it's really winding roads. I got a car sick the whole time. Yeah, but the mountain was pretty. We had a good time, good rest after. So talking about a car trip when I was little, yes, car sick. That's the only thing come up to my mind. Yeah, thank you.
If you're car sick, there's nothing else that comes up besides being car sick.
Yeah.
Vincent, over to you.
Kate, give us an evaluation, please.
With pleasure. Thank you, Vincent. Zilu, I liked the way you constructed your response. That was introduction to us. You didn't have a car and you shared car or buses. Then you, I like the humor that you put into your storytelling, and the conclusion. You came back to that. So talking about that, about my memory, that was. So I liked the structure of your response. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Back to you, Victoria.
Thank you so much. I'd like to call on Harold G. Harold.
Yes.
Categories are careers, trips, colors, memories, songs, or potpourri?
What about trips for 400?
All right, trips for 400. What was the longest single flight you ever had, and where were you going?
Wow. The longest single flight I ever had was I went on a vacation to Hawaii. And I thought, boy, when will we ever, that was one, but the one I was very conscious of, we were coming back from the Bahamas, pardon me, coming back from the Bahamas. The pilot said, we're going to enter Texas. And I will tell you, I will announce when we leave Texas. Okay, so we're saying, what's the big deal about that? So he announced we're entering Texas. And we were flying. Maybe for a long time, we're looking down on this desert type land. And it went on and on. We were having conversations and we said, oh, the pilot forgot, we'll be in LA in no time. And finally, after several minutes, he's like it was an hour, he said, we're going to be leaving Texas in another 10 minutes. I said, wow. It was like another country. It took us for a long time. We had conversations, we had games, we were playing with each other. And the whole time we were flying over the state of Texas. And we came home and we're so glad to be in Los Angeles. And I said, I'm glad to be in the city that's between the sea and the mountains, where excitement happens, Hollywood. Anyway, fellow Toastmasters, that's my story.
Thank you, Harold. Vincent, over to you.
Sandra, would you mind giving us an instant evaluation, please?
Definitely. Mr. Harold, I love your voice. You conveyed confusion and excitement all at the same time. In fact, you led us along this very confusing, why is this about Texas? And who cares? You want to get to the big Hollywood sign and all the other adventures that you were going on. You took us on a nice trip with your voice, and it makes me want to start booking my flight very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Vincent. I would like to call on Paul Greenway. Can you hear me, Paul?
I can, Victoria. What categories are left?
Oh, there's lots of categories left. It's just about the money, my friend. We've got careers, trips, colors, memories, songs, or potpourri.
Let's go memories, and the money has to be 500.
You got it. Memories for 500. Quote for you. I have more memories than if I were 1,000 years old, by Charles Baudelaire. What age do you hope to live to and why, Paul?
Thank you, Madam Topics Master. What age do I hope to live to? At least a day older than today would be the start. That would be a good positive for tomorrow. When it comes to a real age, I think I've gotten to that point where, a little bit like the quote from earlier, my second life has started. So I've realized I've only got that one. So now I would like it to be a little bit longer than I did in my earlier years. I truthfully think somewhere around 80 is realistic. Some members of my family have pulled it off a little bit longer than that. But would I really want to be older than 80? I've thought about it. It's far enough away. And that's key for me. It's far enough away. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. It's not next year. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, I've got life left to live. I'm not looking and counting it down yet, which is why I think the closer I get to a number, I start to get a little bit more fearful and going, yeah, so probably if I hit 70, 80 is still going to be a little bit too close. It's going to get pushed out further than that. So I think it's going to be a little bit fluid. I think it's always going to be about 20 to 30 years older than I am today. Victoria, back to you.
Thank you, Paul. Vincent.
Judith, would you like to give us an evaluation, please?
I love this, Paul, because I do also think about this, and it was such a fabulous thing. People say this. How old is this person? How old somebody died? Oh, she died. Well, she lived long enough. It's all right. So it's really great, and it's exactly right that yes, one should think about tomorrow, one day, and just enjoy whatever we have, and whether it's 20 years or not 20 years, who knows how long we're going to live, but as long as we enjoy the time. And I think it was great. Thank you for your speech.
Thank you very much, Judith.
Oh, it's my turn. These are like great speeches. Even the table topics response is a great speech. Thank you. I was thinking, Judith, you gave a speech, but you didn't. Well, you did, but you know. All right, one more, and I'm calling on Marjorie. Marjorie Duarte Sheffield, are you there? No? Yes. Marjorie, can you go off mute?
She appears to be on the phone.
Oh, then she better not go off mute, or that'll be an interesting call. Scott Oliver, thanks for saying something. Scott, we have careers, trips, colors, memories,
Music,
songs, potpourri.
Songs for biggest number that's left.
Did we do songs for 500?
Yeah, so I got to have songs for 400.
You're going to do songs for 4. You got it. Okay, one moment, please. Songs for 4. What happened to songs for 4?
I'll take 3. I'll take any song you got.
I know you will. I'm sorry about that. Well, guess what? All the songs are gone. I don't know where they went. So here, I will give you a question about songs. Name a song, or is there a song you ever sang the lyrics wrong to for a long time and finally realized it?
There are songs that I have missung over the years. I suppose songs like My Sharoda, that were radio songs. However, an interesting twist is not so much that they were sung wrong, but there's an old classic in the back of the hymnal at the Episcopal Church called America the Beautiful, and they always sing it on the 4th of July in the Episcopal Church. And it's not that it's sung wrong, it's that the song is more than one verse. The song is 2 and 3 and 4 verses. And in the end, it calls us to sing not just for how beautiful our country is, but that we have to live up and rise up as a people to live a life that matches the value of our country. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved, it says. And to this day, who, by the way, I have to think about this. For heroes proved who they love their country more than life itself. And it's really a powerful part of the song that unfortunately, it's not that it's sung wrong, it's that it's not sung. And we need to hear more of it. Fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you very much. Vincent, final instant evaluation.
Sante, can I ask you to do that? I know you're timing. You don't have to time yourself. That's an advantage.
Thank you. Sure. Thank you so much, Scott. That was great. And it definitely brought me back. It had me thinking about, do I know the lyrics? Because I don't think I know all of them. I thought this was great. I would have loved to hear you sing them though. I want to hear how those lyrics sound, right? For heroes' sake, like just sing it, bolt it out. I thought it was great. Thank you. Back to you, Vincent.
All right. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you for the instant. You'll be doing your own table topics evaluation in the next section. But with that, thank you all for your participation. I turn it back over to our Toastmaster.
Table topic.
Thank you, What did I hear? Or what I wanted to hear? And I think it's more important what I want to hear than what I heard. In conclusion, what I want you to tell me is how I can improve my speech. I don't want your sympathy that, oh, I'd like to listen to the radio too, or I like hamburgers, or I like hamburgers with French fries or not with French fries. we as advanced club, we need to look at structure. So we need to get some sort of positive advice how we can do our table topics better. So there were comments like the composition of your speech was great. I like the way that you used your conclusion, or the voice composition and the voice strip you took me on. I also liked the way somebody said, I would like you to sing it rather than speak it. These are elements which a speaker can use inside his table topics to make a speech better. And if you start commenting on things, we can, for instance, the metaphors we heard in Zan's speech, I think were great. And perhaps the evaluator, instead of talking about memory loss, we should have said, well, yes, there were metaphors. Or the opening, for instance, when Harold was talking about his trip across Texas, he might have started with a bang saying, can you imagine how big the state of Texas is? It took me 2.5 hours to fly across it. So that would have been a great opening. So maybe the evaluator could have said, well, how about if you start your speech with a question or some sort of interaction with your audience? And I think that is the most important thing in all of the evaluations, because basically our club is called Masters of Evaluation. So we will have to evaluate speeches with people who we might not agree with. People might talk about things that don't like cats. And it's not a question whether you agree with that or not. It's just that you have to look at, very much as Scott did in his speech evaluation, look at the structure. Did it work well? And be motivational. So, well, if you use this or that technique, if you had opened your table topics with the questions, for instance, then you would have attracted your audience in a better way. And that is all we want. This is why we're here. And therefore, my suggestion is, in our next meetings, try to look at more structure, look at how the speaker has established his credibility, ethos, look at how he connected with his audience, with his pathos, and is there some sort of conclusion which is meaningful? These are the 3 points which we really have to look at. And if the speaker has fulfilled these obligations, and often it's difficult in a table topics, but therefore we're here as an advanced club, and we have to try to challenge ourselves to go beyond what we are usually do in our home clubs. Therefore, I would invite you next time to be even more on the ball. You have done extremely well. Nobody refused to give an evaluation. So I'm really happy to have you here, and back to you.